great. Okay, more pressure.
Okay.
So yeah, I met you at a furniture event, and you're
Yes.
so nice.
Oh,
It's
thank
just
you.
great to see you
Thank
again.
you.
So how much free Pepsi stuff have you received over the years, and what is it all over your house?
Wow. I don't think when that wasn't really a thing back in the day. You just worked for a client, you got your paycheck, and but I will say we are definitely, if we are going to drink a soft drink, we are definitely a Pepsi family.
Did they always say don't work with animals and children. So how crazy was it? Were the dogs? I mean, are the wolves? Were they behaving? Any stories?
I think over the years we've gone from using wolves, real wolves, to these are actually Tamascan dogs, 99% wolf. They originate from Finland, but they're not actual wild wolves. And there's two reasons for that. I think in 2021, attitudes have changed a little bit with regard to exploitation of wild animals, and we don't want something that is is for charity to be soiled by suggestion of animal exploitation. But it was quite fun in the old days when we did use real wolves, because Cindy's quite scared of dogs, and these were actually massive wolves. And I got into trouble, I think, the first day we shot, because I was trying to track the wolf with some chicken. And it was about minus 15 degrees, and the wolf wrangler mistimed the throw, and the frozen chicken hit Cindy in the car. And it was early in our relationship, and she said, "David, that's not appropriate." And I never a truer word said.
Well, I guess when David invited me to shoot with him the first time, and knowing that there were going to be wolves there, I don't know why I thought that they were going to be trained like movie wolves. Unbeknownst to me, you can't train wild animals like these are real wolves. So yes, their owner, the handler of them, kind of knew what behavior to expect, but it's not like a movie dog that knows go sit on that mark.
Right.
So it definitely leaves room for a little bit of excitement.
Um, what would you tell people, like, as far as modeling or photography? What would you tell them to start? Just go out there and do it, or do you have any advice for people?
On the photography side?
Yes.
On the photography side, my two pieces of advice I always give: number one, be very tough on yourself. Be your own biggest critic. And number two, look at the work of others. Ansel Adams always said photography is about the heart and the soul and the work of others. So be a sponge to work of others.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Wow, modeling. I'm not sure I'm really the best person to give advice in this day and age, because, it's funny, when my daughter first started modeling, people were like, well, how are you sure you want your daughter to be a model? And I said, really, every young person is a model in their life now because of their Instagram. There isn't a 10-year-old who doesn't know like their good angle. And so, but I will say, like, understanding, like, if I'm going to work with David Yarrow, do your homework first. That I would look at his books, or look at his pictures online, or look at his Instagram, understand the type of images that he takes, so that when I am on set, we can speak the same language.
Oh, that's great advice. Actually, that's really good. American Horror Stories, love it. The gays are going crazy, and including myself. And what's it been like to see your daughter on there? And how did she get to know Ryan Murphy and all that?
Well, she didn't know Ryan Murphy before she got cast.
Oh, okay.
She started doing auditions during the pandemic, and everything was just, you could self-tape and send it in, and she got the role of Ruby first, which was, if you watch it, she's like an undead girl that cuts people up. So that was pretty interesting. And now she's playing like a Harvard student who has an alien encounter, and I'm not sure much more I can say than that.
Sure.
But I think for her, it's a great outlet for her creativity, and it's fun. She's having a great time with it.
What? Yeah. Yes. So what's the goals of this to go on and travel maybe, and what's the future?
I don't think Cindy wants to go on tour with me longer than
Are we
72.
going on the road, David?
Wouldn't that be great? Every man's dream. No, we were up in Madison, Wisconsin last night, and obviously that was an appropriate place to start because it's where the University Hospital is. And it was actually a very successful evening. We raised $400,000. So the pressure now is on Chicago to see if it can at least meet that or beat that. And so if we can raise over $1 million over a weekend, that would be fantastic. And I just when you go to meet some of the doctors as we did last night, it's an incredibly humbling experience. I'm just a snapper, I'm just a photographer, whereas these people are saving lives. So it puts everything into perspective.
Yeah. Well, I wish I brought my checkbook so I could get you that $1 million, but
We take Venmo, don't worry.
all right.
Whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
very,
Well, it was great talking to you. And good to see you
Thank
again.
you.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you.
Great. So,
Yes, of course.
and Justin, will you take one as well, please?
Someone.